Since we talked about the vocabulary and we know the new vocabulary that we need, now let's go and dive in deep and have the story of what of learning to swim. But before we start, let's have a look about the story that we are going to have today and maybe what is going to talk about. So let's see this video together.
Why is it important to stay calm during a crisis? The men and women we depend on to help us in times of crisis are trained professionals, but their attitude and demeanor are good models for all of us to follow if we ever find ourselves in an emergency. Lifeguards do a lot more than sit in a chair all day long and watch us swim. Long before they ever get the whistle, they train hard for a job with a lot of challenges. They swim a lot before and after their shift to stay in shape. They also repeat life-saving drills over and over again, practicing if they ever need to jump into the water for a real rescue. Firefighters also spend a lot of time practicing their life-saving skills. In addition to knowing how to put out a fire, they need to know how to quickly and safely evacuate a burning building. They need to know how to treat people who've experienced trauma, like the loss of a home or an injury. All of these skills take special knowledge. Just as importantly, they require a calm and confident attitude so that the people they are helping will respond to their commands. Staying composed is also very important for police officers. The police often find themselves in turbulent situations where lives may be at risk. If they keep a level head and remember their training, they can gain control of the situation. Being prepared for an emergency through practice is a great idea for all of us. And by remembering to stay calm and composed, we'll be able to think clearly in the face of many challenges. Why do you think it's important to stay calm during a crisis?
Okay, my girls. Right now, did you know the information about the lifeguard that he has to practice before to take the responsibility of being a lifeguard? Or do you think any person we put him there?
No.
Did you know this information before?
Yeah.
So that's great. You have to know that everything in life takes a practice. Everything in life requires you to work on it. So if you need any skill in life, you have to work on it, you have to practice on it, then you have to overcome it and then to become a trainer or to become a person who can practice that skill for other people. So in this unit, we are going to learn that during the crisis, may Allah forbid all the crisis for you, during the crisis, we have to keep our calm and we have to control our feelings so we can be a role model for other people and other people can follow us so we can help each other. But if we panic, all the people panic in the time of the crisis, what will happen? Nobody will understand what to do. And then maybe they will hit each other, they will kill each other. Maybe there will be another problem that appear just because people are not controlling their feelings and they don't know what to do. So, in order to be a person who help other people, like a fireman or a lifeguard or a teacher, you have always to calm yourself and to keep yourself relaxed and to understand and to practice every day to understand what will happen and what can you do to help other people. That's why in America and in Canada and other places, in the school, what they do for the kids in school, they try to teach them about fireman, they try to teach them about emergency and how to help people who have emergency to have a CPR or to give him like a breath, the breath of life. Do you know التنفس الاصطناعي? They teach the children how to make تنفس اصطناعي, which is CPR. So all of these skills
How
you
to
might
make CPR?
what?
How do they practice CPR?
They teach the children, they bring a doctor or a nurse to the school and they teach the children how to make it and how to help people if the person in front of you is unconscious or he fell down or maybe he eats something and something is stuck in his mouth in his throat, then how to help him, how to save his life. All of these things they try to teach it for people. And that's why sometimes we take in social about earthquake and about tornado. Why? Because these skills you have to know it to keep yourself calm and to know how to act in the time of the crisis and where to go. طيب, right now, the question I want you to focus on is
to stay calm.
why do you think it's important to stay calm during a crisis? Okay? So I want you to focus on that question during the story. But first, tell me, what is the genre of the story we have? Who is the writer? And what is the question of the week? So the genre is
The
what?
genre is autobiography.
Very good. So
And
autobiography. What does it mean, autobiography?
it's like an essay or like a personal life.
And the person is talking about himself or somebody is writing
it's talking about like somebody else.
No, this is wrong, Yawatin. Biography is writing about somebody else, like you did with the story of Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi. Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi didn't write about himself.
Yeah, I see he talk about a person.
A person's life. So autobiography, you are writing your own story. So autobiography, it means I am the person who's writing my own story. طيب, who's the author?
Kazuhiko Sano. No, it's Kiyuki Mori.
Kiyuki Mori. This is how Mori writes it. Spelling is correct. M-O-R.
Mori, M-O-R-I. There's no E.
Okay. And then we have question of the week is what?
Why is it important to stay calm during a crisis?
To stay calm during crisis. Okay, my girls, let's go right now and have a look to the story. So, Learning to Swim by Kiyuki Mori, illustrated by Kazuhiko Sano. So, what do you think about the names? Is it American names or is it like Japanese?
Japanese.
Kayuki, Kayoko Mori, and then Kazuhiko Sano. Those are what? Those are Japanese.
Yeah.
So let's see if this story is about Japanese people also or no.
Yeah, Miss, if the author is Japanese, they are Japanese because he's the one talking about himself.
Okay. So I like your thinking. That's amazing. Yeah, Watin. Yeah, Malak.
I was determined.
Yeah, let's start. Open the first one, 398, and let's start the story.
To swim at least 25 meters in the front crawl. As we did every summer, my mother, younger brother, and I were going to stay with my grandparents, who lived in a small farming village near Himeji in Japan. From their house it was a short walk through some rice paddies to the river where my mother had taught me how to swim when I was 6. First, she showed me how to float with my face in the water, stretching my arms out in front of me and lying very still so my whole body was like a long plastic raft full of air. If you thought about it that way, my mother said, floating was as easy as just standing around or lying down to sleep. Once I got comfortable with floating, she taught me to kick my legs and paddle my arms so I could move forward, dog paddling with my face out of the water. Now I was too old to dog paddle like a little kid. My mother had tried to teach me the front crawl the previous summer. I knew what I was supposed to do. Flutter kick and push the water from front to back with my arms while keeping my face in the water and turning sideways to breathe. But somehow there seemed to be too much I had to remember all at once. I forgot to turn my head and found myself dog paddling again after only a few strokes. This summer I thought I would work harder and learn to swim as smoothly and gracefully as my mother. Then I would go back to school in September and surprise my classmates and my teachers. At our monthly swimming test, I would swim the whole length of our pool and prove myself one of the better swimmers in our class.
Okay, so this girl right now, she's talking about herself. That's why she's using, I want you to notice what is the difference between biography and autobiography. In the biography, we use the third voice, which is the third person voice, which is you will say he or she or they. But right now, as I am writing an autobiography, I'm writing about myself, then I will
Yeah.
use the first voice of narrator, which is I, me, my. Why? Because he's talking about himself. So the whole thing, it will be I, or my mother, my sister, I am. She brought it to me. Everything is
Yeah.
about me
So
because the
both
story is about me. Okay? So this girl is describing now how is her journey to learning swimming, and how she didn't learn it since a young age, as I told you. And now when she grew up, she wanted to learn, but it is harder for her. But anyway, she's
Miss,
trying right now to improve her ability so she can surprise her classmates and her teachers when she come back from the summertime. Yes, Yawatin.
Miss, like now, if a girl is swimming and she drown, okay, not all the time she's going she's every person is going when he drown have a phobia from the water, right?
Yes, yes, of course not.
Because like after before 1 year, I drowned in the swimming pool, and I don't have a phobia from the water.
Yeah, of course, because you are still learning. So I myself, I drowned very much and many times. But خلاص, because
Me
I
only
want to
one time.
swim and I want to learn, though no, so no matter how much I drink water and I drowned, I want to come again and learn until I master it. Okay, because
yeah.
every time you go for a place with your family for the sea and you find everybody's swimming and you're the only one who can't swim, so that really hurts because swimming is very fun and it's nice and it's like a sport in the same time. So it will give
Yeah.
you strength to your body. So it's beneficial for many ways. So why I don't swim? I have to learn, even though if I drown. But that will not give me a fear to not do it again. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's go back and complete. Yeah. At our school.
At our school, where we had monthly tests to determine how far each of us could swim without stopping, everyone could tell who the best and the worst swimmers were by looking at our white cloth swimming caps. For every 5 or 10 meters we could swim, our mothers sewed a red or black line on the front of the cap. At the last test we had in late May, I had made it all the way across the width of the pool in an awkward combination of dog paddle and front crawl, earning the 3 red lines on my cap for 15 meters. That meant I was an average swimmer, not bad, not great. At the next test in September, I would have to try the length of the pool, heading toward the deep end. If I made it all the way across, I would earn 5 red lines for 25 meters. There were several kids in our class who had done that, but only one of them had turned around after touching the wall and swum farther, heading back toward the shallow end. He stopped halfway across, where the water was up to our chests. If he had gone all the way back, he would have earned 5 black lines, meaning 50 meters and more. That was the highest mark. All the kids who could swim the length of the pool were boys. They were the same boys I competed with every winter during our weekly race from the cemetery on the hill to our schoolyard. They were always in the first pack of runners to come back, as I was. I could beat most of them in the last dash across the schoolyard because I was a good sprinter, but in the pool they easily swam past me and went farther. I was determined to change that. There was no reason that I should spend my summers dog paddling in the shallow end of the pool while these boys glided toward the deep end, their legs cutting through the water like scissors.
Ah, looks like she is really jealous of those
Like a
boys.
scissor.
Okay, she's talking about herself and in her school right now. She doesn't know she swim. She is not like ignorant. She doesn't know anything. No, she know how to swim, but she is average swimmer. So she's saying that the people who are swimming there, the girls and the boys, their mothers come to cheer them, to be in the audience. Okay, and she's saying that when the girls and the boys wearing the cap of the swimming, you can understand if this person is a good swimmer or bad swimmer. Look into his cap. How is that? Because their mothers, whenever she swim, if she swim like 5 meters, she will sew she will sew a little what a little line on the cap, like this one, like this girl right here. This is the girl who is writing the story about herself. And she's saying every time you swim like 5 meters, your mother will sew, yani she will come and sew something on your cap, a line. So if you have more 5 meters, she will give you another line, another line. So she has 3 meters, which means that she can swim 15 meters inside the pool. That makes her an average person. The one who can go for the whole pool from the start to the end, that means it's 25 meters. And she's saying, today I want to try to have 25 meters. It's the first time for me because every time she face and she reach the 15 meters, she will be so much tired. So today she's saying, I have to beat this number and I have to go for 25. But she's saying in the same time, even though I'm trying to reach 25, but you know what? Some of the boys, they can go the whole pool from the beginning to the end, which means 25 meters, and then take it back from the end to the beginning again, 25 meters again, which give them like 50 meters. In one day, they can do it in less than 15 minutes. Okay? So she's saying that those boys, they have like 5 lines of black lines in their cap. 5 lines. All of them is black. Not like me, red. So the red, it means that you are average. يعني between, in the middle. If you have a black, it means that you are a master person. You know how to swim very well. If you have 5 marks of a black, it means you can go for 50 meters inside what? Inside the pool. So right now she's very jealous because she's saying that the most people who can swim 50 and 25 meters are the boys. And obviously this is very known and understandable because the boys are faster and they have more muscles than the girls, right? So
Yeah.
obviously, when they swim together, of course the boy will beat you because he has more muscles and more strength than girls. So, but she is very jealous about that because they are in a mixed school, and in this school they have boys and girls in the same school. When they want to swim, they swim together. So she tried to compete with those boys, but whenever she do that, she is the loser and they are the one who win. But this time she say, I want to learn during this summer to be faster swimmer. I want to learn another technique, which is the butterfly technique. It's another technique for swimming, and for another technique to make me tread with the water. Then I will not fight against it, and it will be easier for me. Let's see if she will succeed in that or no. What do you think? She will
Yeah,
succeed?
if she
Yeah.
tried, if she يعني, if it did, she would succeed.
If she practice, she will succeed. Okay, let's see that. Okay, I want you to read يا ملاك. يلا, complete from here.
Okay. My brother and I got out of school during the first week of July, and we're at my grandparents' house by July 7th. The festival of the stars on the night if the sky was clear. The weather, the weather, the weather,
The weaver
the
lady.
weaver, the weaver lady, and the cowherd boy would be allowed to cross the river of heaven.
Mhm.
Of heaven. The
Yes.
Milky Way for their once a year meeting. The weaver lady and the cowhead boy were 2 stars who had been ordered to live on opposite shores of the river of heaven as punishment for neglecting
Mhm.
their work when they were together. On the night of the 7th, it was customary to write wishes on pieces of colored paper and tie them to pieces of bamboo on the night of their happy meeting. The the weaver lady, and the cowhead boy would be in the generous mood and grant the wishes. I wished, among other things, that I would be able to swim the length of the pool in September. Of course, I knew, as my mother reminded me, that no wish would come true unless I worked hard.
Mhm.
Every afternoon, my mother and I walked down to the river in our matching navy blue swimsuits. We swam near the bend of the river where the current slowed. The water came up to my chest, and I could see schools of minnows
Mhm.
swimming past my knees and darting in and out among the rocks on the bottom. First, I practiced the front crawl, and then a new stroke. My mother was teaching me the the best stroke. The
The best
best
stroke. That's
breath.
enough. Thank you so much, yeah, Malak. Right now, we are talking about people that this is a story about Japanese people, as I told you, because she's, as Malak said before, she is the writer. So obviously, the story, since she is Japanese, the story will be about Japanese customs and about Japanese people. So she is saying that now she went in the summer, during the summer, she went with her brother to her grandparents' house. And there was a sea near of their house, and they wanted to learn how to swim at that time. In that night was this, the sky was so clear, and then there was two stars in the sky. One star, they call it the Weaver Lady. Okay, the Weaver Lady. And there's another star, they call it Cowherd Boy. Okay, and the story of these two stars, they said they were all regular people, and then after that they didn't do their work, so heaven punished them to make them stars and to make them stay in the sky, but their back is, يعني the heaven is behind their back. They can't look to heaven. Okay, this is the it's like a myth in the Japanese culture. Okay, so when she saw that night is clear and she can see the two stars of Weaver and Cowherd Boy, her grandparents said to them, you know what, today is a festival night, it's a party night because we can see those two stars, the sky is so clear. So, if you look to the stars and make a wish, your wish will be granted and you will find all your wish came true. And then she told them the story of Weaver Lady and Cowherd and how, because they didn't do their work, now they are punished to stay in there. And she said, if you want your wish to be granted, then it's not only by wishing. No, you have also to work hard on yourself. Then your wish will happen no matter what you do. It will happen, it will happen. Since you are what? You are working. So now she's trying to have a wish. What the wish that he had? She just wished one thing, that she can cross that pool and she can learn how to swim so fast so she can beat all the other classmates and boys. So let's see if that will work with her or no. Complete Yawatin reading from this part, please.
Okay, miss. A good thing about this stroke, she said, is that you come up for air looking straight ahead, so you can see where you are going. We both laughed, practicing the front crawl in the river, where there were no black lines at the bottom. I had been waving wildly from right and left, adding extra distance. As we sat together on the river bank, my mother drew diagrams in the sand, showing me that my arms and legs should be doing. Then we lay down on the warm sand so I could practice the motions. Pretend that you are a frog, she said. Bend your knees and then kick back. Flick your ankles. Good. We got into the water where I tried to make the motions I had practiced on the sand, and my mother swam underwater next to me to see what I'm doing. It was always harder to coordinate my legs and arms in the water, but slowly all the details that seemed so confusing at the first came together. So I didn't have to think about them separately. My mother was a good teacher, patient and
Humorous.
humorous,
Humorous.
humorous,
Hmm.
patient and humorous. She talked me out of the frustration even when even when I felt sure I would never get better. By
Excellent. That's
mid
enough. That's
August,
enough. Just a minute. Even though I felt I would never get better. طيب, that's enough for now, and let's go back to this picture. So right now she is staying with her mom and her grandparents' house, and now her mother took her to the shore to make her practice every day to become a greater swimmer. Her mom is a very nice swimmer. She knows all the techniques, but now she's asking her mom that please teach me another stroke other than the dog paddle stroke. I want something like butterfly or to make me go so fast. So her mother said, the easiest thing that you can do to teach you how to swim is to do the frog thing. What is the frog thing? She said, like the frog. Imagine yourself like a frog. When the frog is swimming or jumping inside the pool or inside the river, what he do? He move his legs with his hands. So he do it together and then pew, he jump. So imagine yourself like you are a frog. So whenever you are inside the water, try to use your hands along with your legs. يعني try to push them together. Then imagine yourself you're a frog and go with the flow. This is how she taught her. And then she went under her in the water because her mother know how to dive, how to swim. So she went under her in the water to see what she is doing inside the water. Is she really moving her legs and her arms very well like she taught her or no? Because first she let her try this on the sand like this. She drew for her what to do, and this is the thing that she drew it for her. She said, imagine yourself like a frog, and this is your hands, this is your legs. You have to move them together. Now she said, lie on the sand and try to imitate this movement. If you can't do it, then we will go to the sea. Then the girl tried to do it several times, and then she said for her, "Yalla, to the sea." When she went to the sea in there, she went to move her hands and legs. At first, it was so hard to coordinate your hands along with your legs because it's very hard. It needs a practice. So she said, at first it was very hard for me, but after a while, I learned how to do it. And my mom was very patient and she was very humorous. So humorous, يعني, which means that she laughs with me. So she was patient, يعني she wait for her to learn. And then she was humorous and she tried to give me the push that I needed to get me out of my frustration and to help me how to be a good swimmer. In the next part, inshallah, we are going to learn if she became a really good swimmer, yes or no. This is what we are going to learn next time. And if she beat the other boys or no. Okay? Do you have any
okay,
question until now?
No,
thank you.
miss.
Okay, what do you think about the story? Is it exciting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, how many of you knows how to swim?
me.
I know how to
Because in grade 4, I went to Madaris, the Arab school, and there's in the Arab school like a gym, and they teach me how to swim.
That's great. And we have a swimming pool also in Dar al Fursan.
Yeah,
Do you think that if we bring a trainer, do you think that you will come to swim?
inshallah.
yeah.
Yes,
Miss,
because
I
it's
did a
very nice
poem
to